Hi everybody, it's Beatle Dave calling to you from Derbyshire in the UK on a nice Sunday morning. For this video I thought that we would take another look at one of the records that we got in our recent trip to Liverpool. Again, this is from Dig Records on Bold Street in Liverpool, and it is actually quite a rare record. It's the Beatles first, and this is an original German pressing. You can get these, but they're not original. Usually they're not the German versions, and in the UK the most common ones you can get are on really like cheap labels like Pickwick and Contour and things like that, but like I say, this is an original German pressing. Trialist and everything exactly the same, but this is how it originally came out in Germany. So it is the Beatles first, recorded in Hamburg in 1961, featuring Tony Sheridan and guests. Now, the reason they say Tony Sheridan and guests is because we've gone into this album before. Well, not this one, but a UK version of it. And on some it will say Tony Sheridan and the Beatles, and others it will say Tony Sheridan and the Beat Brothers. But the Beat Brothers was basically anybody that was backing him. So it could be the Beatles, or it could be someone completely different, but the ones that they know that was the Beatles, it does actually say the Beatles on here. So it's on Polydor and it's Hi-Fi 46432. That's the track list and everything. The cover's not in bad condition. It's got a little bit of stain or whatever it is there. I think just where the laminates come off it a little bit. But I think this originally came out around about 1966, 1967. Obviously, by the time this was released, you know, the Beatles were worldwide stars, weren't they? But this was actually recorded in 1961 before the Beatles were famous. And basically, they are just the backing band for Tony Sheridan. Although John Lennon does do a vocal, there's one like Beatles vocal and one Beatles instrumental on it as well. So side A starts off with Ain't She Sweet? Oh, ain't she sweet? See her walking down the street. Well, I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? And that is the one that's got the vocal by John Lennon. So that is the Beatles vocal, John Lennon. Then we've got Cry for a Shadow, which is an original Beatles instrumental. And that was written by Harrison and Lennon. I think originally it was going to be called Beatles Bop or something, but they did change the name to Cry for Shadow, and it does actually sound a lot like the Shadows. Then you've got Let's Dance. That's Tony Sheridan and the Beat Brothers, so that could be anybody backing him. Then you've got My Bonnie. That's the Beatles with Tony Sheridan on vocals. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. Yeah, it's that My Bonnie, which is the record that got Brian Epstein interested in the Beatles, wasn't it, according to legend. Then you've got If You Love Me Baby, aka Take Out Some Insurance on Me Baby. That's the Beatles, again with vocals by Tony Sheridan. And then side A finishes off with What I Say, and that's Tony Sheridan and the Beat Brothers. Side 2, or side B, starts off with Sweet Georgie Brown. In Liverpool, she even dared to criticise the Beatles there with their own fan club standing there. Oh, Sweet Georgie Brown. That's the Beatles again with vocals by Tony Sheridan. Then you've got The Saints, or When the Saints Go Marching In. Again, that is the Beatles with vocals by Tony Sheridan. Then you've got Ruby Baby. That is the that is Tony Sheridan and the Beat Brothers. But to be honest, that is the one that does actually sound like it could be the Beatles actually on the backing on that one. Then you've got Why. That's the Beatles with Tony Sheridan on the vocals. Nobody's Child. You're nobody's child. You're nobody's child. Just like a flower, I'm growing wild. That is the Beatles with vocals by Tony Sheridan. The interesting thing about that song is when George Harrison was doing the Travelling Wilburys, they actually did a version of that, didn't they? So some sort of charity, wasn't it? And then the record finishes off with Ya Ya, and that's Tony Sheridan and the Beat Brothers. like I say, this was originally recorded by Polydor, but in the UK, if you ever get this, it's always on like budget labels. And it has got liner notes by Tony Sheridan, and on it, it does actually say at one point, it says, just for the record, I'd like to mention here that there were 5 Beatles in those days: John Lennon, George Harrison, Paul McCartney, Pete Best, who was to be replaced later by Ringo Starr, and Stuart Sutcliffe, who died so tragically in Hamburg. Those were the original Beatles to be heard on this disc. So I'm not sure if Stuart Sutcliffe actually played on this or not. I know some research says he does, but some say that he had actually left the band before this was made. But I'm going to leave that completely up to you. Like it doesn't really affect it, because it is what it is. It is Beatles before they was famous. So like I say, it's not in too bad a condition. Little bit of damage there, but it is quite hard to get. The interesting thing, this was the original in the sleeve, and I don't know if you can see it. It actually says on there, sample, not for sale. So whether that means it was a sample record, I don't know. I mean, it might not be from this LP originally, so I'll put it in a new one, because that one is a little bit worn. So the condition of the record is actually very, very nice. Gemma BMI, the Beatles first. So it is on Polydor, like I say, 46 or 46432. That is the A side. I'll do it, and when I do the labels, I'll leave it for a few seconds, so that if you wanted to freeze it and like zoom in, you can see what they are. It is nice to get on Polydor, to be honest, because like I say, in the UK, you do get the same track listings, but it's always on really, really crappy thinny vinyl, and they're always on budget labels. So this is more like the original thing it is the original that came out in Germany, which those are all based on. So that's side A. And then that's side B. So it's got a few very, very minor hairline marks on it, but apart from that, I'd say it is in good condition. I mean, to be honest, this record is probably the same age as me, so it's probably better nick than me, to be honest. But that is not a warp, that is the light. That there, it's just the light off the camera that's up there. So yeah, I'm very, very happy that I found this. Now, looking on eBay earlier this morning, I couldn't actually find this on eBay. I couldn't even find one on Discogs. I could find a Japanese version that was on Polydor, and I could find a reissue CD, and I could find like the UK ones on, like as we said, Contour, Mr. Pickwick, or them sort of things. But I couldn't find one that was on the German Polydor label or German pressing. So value-wise, I'm not quite sure what it's worth. It's basically worth what somebody's willing to pay for it, isn't it? But I do know this is the most sought after one to get, from what I can make out. Obviously, if you live in Germany, this is probably as common as anything. But in the UK, it is actually quite a rare record. I paid £10 for it, which, for saying I've got like, I don't know, 3 or 4, or probably more than that, copies. But like I say, they're on Contour, they're not on Polydor. They are like the cheap versions of this. So to have an original German pressing, I don't think I've done too bad with that for £10. Rough estimate, I would say, if I clean it, I mean, it looks nice. It is nice and shiny, but it does need a clean, because there's some like little fingerprints and stuff on it. It does play nice. I think if I was going to sell it, which I'm not, my days of selling records are long gone now. I think I might sell the odd one on eBay and things like that now, but I don't buy them to sell them. I buy them because I want them. But then again, sometimes if you get like duplicates, sometimes I will sell a few to make way for some more records. So that's it. That is the Beatles first, featuring Bernie Sheridan, original German recording and pressing. If I remember rightly, it wasn't, although it was recorded by Polydor, I don't think it was actually recorded in the studio. It was recorded in a school hall or a church hall or something, wasn't it? They bought like mobile equipment and then Beatles and Turner Sheridan just like set up on like a little stage thing. So it was sort of like basically recorded live, but without an audience. I don't think there was like any overdubs or anything like that. I mean, there might have been more than, they might have like done a few different takes of each song. I don't know. And it was produced by Bert, what's his name, that famous arranger. Can't remember his name now. Let's say it on here. Bert Kaempfert, is that how you pronounce it? Koempfert. Yeah, Bert Kaempfert, actually. He was a big like movie arranger wanting later in his career. So yeah, I'm very happy that I've got it. Like I said, I think I've got it at a decent price. If I was going to sell it, I don't know, because I'm not going to sell it. So in one way, that's immaterial. But I do like to say to people roughly what it is worth. I would say in that condition, once I've cleaned it, it's probably worth about 30 quid, probably, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. So would I recommend it to you? If you can find this one, I certainly would recommend it to you. It's not the best Beatles album in the world, but if you take it for what it is, a recording made by them before they was famous, or just as they're starting to get a good following in Liverpool and in Germany. I mean, Germany is actually where they really made the Beatles, didn't it? Because it made them play for long hours and made them tighten up the things and everything, tighten up the stage act, and used to play for like 8 hours solid, didn't they, and things like that. So if you can find this in any sort of condition similar to this, I mean, the only thing that lets this down is that a little bit of damage there, isn't it? But for what I paid for it, I can't moan. And at the end of the day, as long as I like it, that's all I'm bothered about. Yes, if you can find an original German copy, I would recommend you to get it, as long as you're not paying really stupid money for it. Like I say, what I paid for this, I'm quite happy at what I paid for it, and I think if I was going to sell it, which I'm not, I could probably double, maybe even triple my money for it. But like I say, I haven't bought it to sell. So that's it, the Beatles first, featuring Tony Sheridan and guests, recorded in Hamburg in 1961. Okay, that's going to be it for this little video. I hope you like these little videos, because I thought instead of like doing like an hour's video and showing you everything that I've got in Liverpool, we'd go into a little bit more detail and make them like 10-20 minutes. Then people don't get too bored, because I think sometimes if you're watching something for an hour, no matter how interested you are, you're going to get sick of seeing like me just talking about the Beatles. So that's why I'm doing them like little videos. So it might take a few, could be even a couple of weeks to do this, because we did actually get quite a bit of stuff. Most of it was from Dig Records on Bold Street in Liverpool, but we also went to the original Beatles shop in Matthew Street, which I did do a video about. So you might want to check that one out, and bought quite a few things from there that we haven't even looked at yet. So like I say, I'm not going to rush. I'm just going to take my time and just show you things when I've got the time to do it. The reason I'm saying it might take a couple of weeks is not because I've got hundreds and hundreds of records to show you. It's just that tomorrow I'm back at work and I'm on 4 12-hour shifts. So by the time I get home, basically I have a shower, have my tea, and just go to bed. So you might get a couple of videos towards the end of next week. There might be a couple more today, just depending on what we're doing. So with it being Mother's Day, we're all going out with my mum for dinner later. So so as always, everybody that is subscribing, thank you very much. If you're new to the channel and you like what I'm doing, just do me a favor, leave me a thumbs up and just subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny. As I've said before, you know, the more subscribers I get, the more videos I can do. The more videos I can do, the more subscribers I can get. It goes round in like a circle. From time to time, although it's Beatle Dave, we do features on other artists, and if I do another video today, then I think that might be about, it's not the Beatles, but it's a record that we got in Liverpool, and it is a Liverpool artist, so there will be a Beatles connection. As always, love your records, cherish your records. From time to time you do have to clean your records, but above all, just enjoy playing them. That's what they're there for, you know. I'm gonna probably play this in a bit. I did play it, was it last night or Friday night? I can't remember. So yes, you know, if you're ever in Liverpool, please check out Digit Records on Bold Street. Like I've said before, it's like it looks like it's an old department store sort of thing, but downstairs it's all like retro clothes. And then if you go upstairs, you've got Digit Records, you've got some more retro clothes, and then I think there's a barbers and a tattooist as well. We always check them out. Like I say, you know, £10 for an original 1960s Beatles LP. It's nothing, is it really? You know. I've just noticed there's a little bit of tape on there, but I don't know if that was original on it or not, because it doesn't look like it's there to hide any damage. So yes. So what do you think? Is that worth £10? I think it is. Don't know what it's worth. If I wanted to sell it, I'd say probably £20 to £30. But I'm not selling it. As I've said, I'm not selling it. So it is always nice to think that you've got, but I think I've got a bargain anyway with £10. So that's it, folks. As always, stay safe, love one another, and if you haven't sent your mother, you know, a happy Mother's Day message or sent her a card, go out and do it, because that'll make their day. So until the next video, this is Beatle Dave from Derbyshire in the UK saying, ta-ra, me duck, and I'll see you soon.